Hey guys, this is Aaron with Stubborn Brothers Brewery. We're going to start doing a malt review of some of the malts that we utilize in the brew house. We were not able to find any kind of malt feedback on some of the unique malts that we use, and it's hard to kind of find home brewer, professional brewer, or any brewer's feedback on some of these malts. So we decided that we were going to start one, mainly for professional brewers and home brewers alike, to kind of get their feedback and let them know what we're utilizing and go through three main things of each malt that we're going to utilize. We're going to start with flavor and color, the styles that it's going to be used in, and the amount that is usually recommended by the supplier and the manufacturer, as well as what we've seen other people utilize as well. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually open the bag and we're going to inspect the malt. We're going to look for color and see how we're doing. The malt that we're going to be inspecting today is Crystal Wheat 3 Lovibond, and we're going to kind of check to see if we're at that about correct color, as well as to check the grain quality and look at the actual kernels, make sure that there's not a lot of busted kernels, that there's not additional chaff or some kind of additional items in there, such as corn or additional, I've seen rye in bags, I've seen other grains that should not be in there, so we're going to inspect that right away, and as well as to check just the overall malt quality of the grain inside the bag. That's what we're going to do first. And then from there, what's the purpose of this malt? We first want to obviously talk about this color, okay? So a 3 Lovibond color is the equivalent of like a light honey color, like a clover honey, that, not something so dark as a buckwheat honey, but like a clover honey, so a little bit lighter, which really shouldn't impact your beer a lot. It will not impact, harshness or anything like that, and suddenly your beer starts to look like an amber or a brown ale or anything like that, or start to get those reds or darker colors. We will stick with kind of that nice light, almost equivalent to like a Pilsner color. That's what you're gonna get from this Crystal Wheat 3 Lovibond color. Just like the color, we're gonna get some slight sweetness that is honey-like, and I mean it's most sincere. You do get some slight honey-like flavors. For us, we found that you're gonna get it in the background. You're not gonna get it right in the front. It's not gonna hit you, like a Gambrinus honey malt or a malt like that. You're gonna get it kind of in the back, which is ideal for, certain styles that we'll get to in a second. So obviously, with that, everyone's always looking for an example of like what you can see with a Crystal Wheat 3L from Malteurop. You can look at right here. We have our Overhyped 2. It's a double IPA. Obviously, this has been in the fermenter for a little over a month, and we still have this colloidal stability. You can see, obviously, we still have some nice head that's formed. This has been sitting with me for at least 5-10 minutes, and we still have some nice head. Not crazy, but obviously it's still there. And it's opaque. You can't see through it. Obviously, you can't see my fingers through it, which is key. And a lot of hazy IPA, if you go to some microbreweries, you can, they drop clear. If we're still having it a month, this lack of clarity, obviously we have contribution from the hop oils as well as a colloidal stability that we get from Crystal Wheat 3L. So you can clearly see that, which is fantastic. And that's why we utilize that malt. So with this style of beer, with this malt more importantly, the styles that people always are like, okay, what do I utilize this in? Why do I utilize this? What's the purpose of this malt, right? Everyone wants to know that. There's a lot of breweries out there that utilize this malt for different things. Obviously, you have breweries that are pushing the boundaries and they're using this in like their Hefeweizens and stuff. Launchpad Brewery is using about 40% of this, which I find is intense, but I wish I could try the beer. Kudos to you guys, and that's awesome that you're pushing the boundaries. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Other breweries like Pilot Brewery are using it in their wits, which is really cool. Obviously, beers that you want to maintain that colloidal stability, that haze, etc. For us and for the majority of breweries, I would assume they'd use this for their New England style hazy IPAs. That's what we really find it utilized for, to maintain great, haze, give a little bit of balance to those intensity of the hops, as well as obviously, just a generalized, more round malt profile and a little bit of sweetness to the backside of that, which we think is really important because drinking pure hop juice is great for some styles and for some people, But for us, we really think that it's great to have a tiny bit of balance there and, not go over the board with the amount of hops that you utilize. So yeah, for us, we utilize this about 5-6%. The recommendations from Malteurop is 5 to 15%. Obviously, some of these breweries are pushing the boundary, and I think that's awesome. Breweries are all about experimentation, and as long as they're producing a superior product and following all appropriate brewing guidelines, that's awesome. We have nothing but compliments to you guys, and keep pushing it. And yeah, that's about it. So cheers.